Lovers Quarrel. It's a long, sustained quarrel.
What's going on, world?
Hey, everybody.
It's your guy, TJ, Mr. New Cool.
And it's your girl, Dani, your woefully winded wallaby.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's a wallaby?
I believe it's a marsupial.
What's a marsupial?
I believe they're part of, like, the rodent family. They like marsupials are like kangaroos and koalas.
Those are considered rodents?
I'll look it up. I'll double check. I think they're like...
Yeah, you're just giving me false information.
Well, I'm not giving you false information. I said what I believe. But, yeah, I can tell you in a moment. But, yeah, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm okay. You know, I'm hanging in there and doing what I can do in, you know, our new reality. But my apologies. But, yeah, I'm just hanging in there. I think that's the best way I could describe it.
Okay.
It looks like they are not a part of the rodent family, but they are. A marsupial is any member of the mammalian infraclass of Marsupiala. They are endemic to Australia and the Americas. Their well-known marsupials include kangaroos, wallabies, koalas, flanger forms. I'm thinking that means maybe sloths, opossums, wombats,
Sloths.
and Tasmanian devils.
Sloths are the slow things.
Mm-hmm. So, yes.
Okay.
With the three toes. Three-toed
toes.
sloth. Yeah. There's a three-toed sloth. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I know, but I didn't know they were called toes. I thought those were just their claws.
Well, yeah, but they're called toes, yeah. But welcome to another episode of Lovers Quarrel. And as you can tell, TJ and I can very easily go down a rabbit hole of random
Yeah, they
conversation.
have more than 3 fingers.
Some of them do. I think there's different variations.
You're right. There's a such thing as a two-toe. Is it two-toed? Is it three-toe?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna start calling you sloth.
Why?
I just like it.
Do you feel like I move slowly?
Kind of. And you kind of look like this one.
I kind of look like a sloth?
Yeah.
How do I look like that sloth?
Y'all both light skinned.
Really?
So.
And what animal do you think you most resemble?
It's not about me. It's about you.
I'm going to go with...
And
right now, you're like a scruffy bear.
I'm going to say a gorilla.
No, you're like a bear.
An ape.
A brown
like
bear.
Better.
A scruffy brown bear.
That's cool.
Because, you know, barbershops and hair salons across the country are closed.
I mean, I could try to cut myself, or I can pay someone to come in here and cut me.
No, I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying,
I'm not getting a haircut.
Well, I'm not going to the hair, getting my hair done. So.
You were getting your hair done? That was good timing. Come on. You know that was you led that one.
I mean.
You literally threw it off the backboard for me.
I suppose.
Right,
a little bit like low-hanging fruit. But, you know. That's,
you love to call it low-hanging fruit.
I mean, you got to call a spade, right?
Anyway.
So,
this is your first time listening to Lovers Quarrel.
Welcome.
It's your second time listening to Lovers Quarrel.
Welcome back.
And this is your third or more time.
Your family.
Or you're a lover. I like lovers better. Shout out to all my lovers out there.
I hope that everyone is staying safe as best as they can.
Sit your ass in the house.
Yes, as best as you can. If you are somebody who has to go in because you are an essential worker.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please continue to stay safe. Everybody just stay safe as best as you can. But I guess let's go ahead and we can jump right onto the elevator. You ready?
I am.
Would you like to go first?
Ladies first.
Okay. Well, this week's elevator, I'm going to go down. So
I'm going down too, so.
Going down. So like almost all of us, or many of us, you know, let me back up. All of us are now adjusting to the strains and growing pains that are life under a pandemic. And then when I say most of us who are parents, have been experiencing what I like to call parental guilt, or in this case, I'll call it mom guilt. So since we last posted an episode, I've definitely been contending with that. mom guilt, that parent guilt, because Tatum is home and, you know, she just turned 3 this past Tuesday. So very exciting times, but we definitely have a 3-nager on our hand.
Yeah, happy birthday to my baby girl.
Yes.
Even though she was an asshole the whole time.
She's definitely had her struggles, which brings me back to my elevator talk, which is like, you know, I struggle sometimes because I'm like, she's obviously well out of her normal routine. But this is also like the things that she's saying and doing as far as like, you know, saying no and, you know, not wanting to listen and, you know, pushing boundaries and stuff like that. Like these are things that a child her age would do anyway. But now I'm left to kind of sometimes wonder, is this a product of her development, or is this also like a product of her development plus the lack of structure or the difference, the change in routine? And so like I'm left wondering about those things, and I'm trying to, you know, be patient with her, but also still be firm, because obviously like she needs to understand that like certain things aren't okay. But I know I've been left feeling like really kind of having moments where I feel really like stressed out, or I feel I'm questioning my parenting, you know, skills, because this is like, when we had Tatum, we didn't ever think that we would have to raise her in a pandemic, right? So it leaves me questioning myself a lot, and it sucks. And I know that like I need to be kind to myself, and I need to be patient with myself and with her too. But it's just really hard not to sometimes wonder about those things, and it's stressful because ultimately, like I can't. The things that are happening that I'm trying to figure out and sort through about whether or not it's her, it's me, it's us, it's the situation. I can't even necessarily alter the situation, the scenario to make it better, you know. But I do have some things, you know, in play to hopefully help, like be a little bit more routine, have a little bit more structure, so that way hopefully too we can see her adjust to however long this is going to last. And then also too, I'll maybe see like positive changes in behavior that will make me not want to question my mothering and my parenting skills so much right now. So it's just been like, all in all, like to wrap it up and land the plane, it's just been really stressful sometimes, and it's been kind of frustrating because you're left feeling sometimes kind of helpless or powerless to certain things, and that can be really, really disheartening and frustrating as a parent. But I'm doing what I can, and I'm going to try not to let it hold me down. And with that, I yield.
Well, you can stay down. I've hit a point where I'm kind of like questioning life. If that makes sense. You know, and it's kind of weird because it's like we just bought a new house. I had a new job. Dani had a new job. Tatum's growing. And it's kind of like you hit these feats. But then the pandemic hit, and you look, and you're just like, what is life? At least this is what's going through my head. Like, what do we live for, right? You know? Like, we live for, because we're born and stuff like that. But, like, what is our purpose? And that is kind of like, you know, like, are we meant to just live until we die? Are we meant to, like, change the world? Who's the person to change the world? How do you change things? Like, it just really has me just thinking. And it's just like, you know, we have all these people, like all these billionaires and millionaires. And it's just like, what are they doing to help the common person? And that's where it's kind of like, it's hard for me to kind of even, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to really put it into the words, but...
Are you having like an existential crisis?
Like, seeing what the pandemic has hit kind of makes you look at life differently, right?
Like the societal
just
norms that we subscribe
societal
to
norms
are just...
How we're maneuvering right now.
They're just social constructs. They're not real.
Yeah, like... We're more... I mean, I said it 2 weeks ago. We're so capitalistic that, like, you know, we're in the situation we are in because instead of just shutting down like other places have done, we're like, how is this going to affect the money? Like, whereas if we would have stopped, yeah, we may have lost whatever we was going to lose during those 2 weeks, but it could have been contained, if that makes sense. Like,
of course,
it could have been, you risk it now and then you'll get the bigger reward later, as opposed to you go through this, and from the looks of it, it looks like we're not going on site until like August.
I mean, there's
September.
There's a possibility. I mean, they and then I went, as of today, as of us recording this, I looked. The news break I got this morning was that there's 16 million Americans that filed for unemployment as of April 4th, and you know that's unprecedented. These are skyrocketing numbers. We're the number one for, you know, cases of coronavirus, and we probably have more because cases and deaths because there's not equitable access to the tests. We know that there's a racial disparity, of course, unsurprisingly.
Of course.
And I can see how it would be, it can be disheartening because you're like, everything that we kind of like subscribe to and adhere to kind of make sense of the world, kind of this got turned on its ear because of what's going on. And I also think that it's hard because like we are a meaning seeking species, right? So as humans, we look to find meaning in
situations
in everything
life. Okay.
in life, because I mean, if I want to put my nerd hat on, right, like
I didn't know you took it off.
That was a better timing than the first joke. I'll give you that one.
Whatever.
But like, just think about it like this: like way back, like, you know, millions of years ago or hundreds of thousands of years ago, when cultures of people would would worship gods and goddesses, right? It's because they needed to make sense of why was it raining? Why did we have seasons? Why was the sun in the sky for one part of the day and then it was the moon? Like, so they assigned meaning to that by thinking that there were powers that be that they couldn't see that were causing these things to happen. And so now you take that same type of essence, right? That, even though it looks different, that same essence exists in us to this day as people. We look to put meaning in stuff, and then this pandemic has completely in a lot of ways completely altered what matters or what's meaningful, because it's in the sense that
I think it shows you the meaning a little bit more.
Maybe shows what matters most.
At least for me. I mean, it shows us that America's trash.
The ghetto, yes.
We're the biggest, baddest. Americans are bullies. We have the more resources. We have all that. But we really don't. Until someone just punches in the mouth. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, with this whole pandemic, it's affecting the world. So this isn't like a black person versus white person or whatever. Even though there's still, as you stated earlier, we still have the disparity, because if you're wealthy, you don't have to go to work, or depending on what your job is. But if you're, low income and you have to work at this fast food restaurant, or you have to work whatever your job is, then you're putting yourself more at risk. You may not be able to stay at home. Mm-hmm. Apartment complexes are sending nice, nasty letters like, I understand there's a pandemic going on, but you need to pay your fucking money. Yeah. There's people trying to evict people, even though a lot of like eviction courts aren't open. So they truly can't evict you. But to me, like, even that shit is disgusting. Like, how can you evict someone you know what's going on? Yeah, because people, it circles back around to that, we're trash. And people value money over the humanity sometimes. And I think that that's why it's really going to show, and we said this on the last episode, like, this is really going to shine a light and show the true colors of a lot of individuals, groups, organizations, companies, businesses, all that, and where they stand. And that's going to be it's going to be important, imperative that we remember that. Like, we remember the energy that they were on now, because that way, the only way you can hurt them in the future is with dollars and cents, right? Is in their pockets. Because I don't want to fuck with nobody that was being a dick during this time to people, even if it wasn't to me directly, because that says, to me, that speaks volumes. And ultimately, my money is my money, and I get to choose where I spend it. Yeah. And I want my money to go to people and organizations and groups that I feel are good people, organizations and groups. Definitely. I definitely understand. Again, my hat goes off to those essential workers, those working. I have family members who are in the medical field, and they have to go in, and they're nurses, and they're doing it. And at the end of the day, hat goes off to them. I know they were talking about possibly doing like a fund for them, like a special bill, so that way they get like a certain amount of money. Ultimately, it's really just opened up my eyes, and it's scary to think. Like, it's scary to think that we live in a world where a pandemic can shut us down, and people, instead of trying to make sure everybody's good, is still like, where's my money? You know what I mean? Like, if when this shit is clear, you gotta evict them, then cool, and not necessarily cool, but my thing is, I wouldn't evict anybody. Me and my mother was talking about this last night, and I'm just like, she brought up a good point. Like, if you're renting out a property and then have to be paid, like, then you may want to put them out. But even then, I would figure this shit out. I don't know.
But that's why it has to be like
I could never put out somebody.
Yeah, not during a time like this.
No.
Because but that's why it's a unfortunately it's a top down thing. Because right, if a mortgage company, right, if you rent out a second property, right, if a mortgage company suspends mortgage payments for this time frame, now I don't have to worry about that mortgage being paid for that second property, which means now I can give a break to my tenants and say I don't have to charge you rent in the meantime. So you see it like it's all connected, but because the powers that be in these, $1 million companies are not going to do that, or going to try and, be a little shady about how they go about it. We'll do forbearance, but then you got to pay 4 months at the same time when it's over.
This shit is just stupid. It's just, again, it just shows us how trash America is. And I hope that people are remembering this. They're writing it down, and they really take it serious. Like, the next job you have, the company you work for now, what you're teaching your kids, like, teach them to be efficient, effective, and let them know kind of what happened. You know what I mean? Like, you got to protect yourself, right?
Yeah, I think you also need to make sure we're teaching humanity. It's not always, it doesn't.
It takes, I've always said it takes nothing to be nice. It takes nothing to be nice to people. It takes nothing to go, I was speaking to my mother, and she was just saying that, my aunt told her, so she started to, like, just thanking people, like, if they go to the store.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
So I've been, at first I wasn't going to do it, but someone helped me, and I was like, oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Especially because you're here, and
I would be terrified to go to work. If I had to work at a grocery store, when I was in high school, I worked at a grocery store. I've worked in retail before, and I would be scared because I'm considered essential, so they need me to go in. If that's my main job, when I worked at a grocery store, I was in high school, so I didn't need it. It was just a little after school job. But for those who need it. But for those who need it, and it's like I have to make the decision to go out to make money to continue to survive as for myself and for my family. But now I'm not even in control of who I'm interacting with, because I work in a place where everybody is coming to, like a Target, like a grocery store, like a hardware store. So now I might have one person who's coming in and they have on like gloves and a mask, and they're being mindful and they're respecting it. And then I have the next person in who may not be, who for whatever reason isn't adhering to certain things, but I have to still, to whatever extent, engage with them. And that's risky. Like, every time somebody leaves their house, they're risking.
But as a worker, if you have your mask and your stuff, you can still keep your distance and talk. 6 feet is more than enough space that I can still...
You can, but you can... In those situations, you can only control what you do. You can't control what the other person is. I could try to stay 6 feet away from you, but if you run up on me, or you you are putting yourself in harm's way, which is why everybody should be getting hazard pay. They should be getting,
But companies weren't even thinking about that stuff, and just like you said, it's top down. At the end of the day, the government needs to do whatever they need to do. Shit, they need to wipe these motherfucking student loan debts.
Facts.
And then that way there's more money
injected into the economy. But they're not going to do that.
No.
Shit, I'll even take it. Do it for all the fucking essential workers. Erase their student debt, from the medical people to the people at Target. Erase their student debt. They're the garbage man. They're keeping our whatever level of debt that they have. They are keeping our country afloat. They are keeping our systems of normalcy afloat right now. So even if you didn't do everybody, do the motherfuckers that can't stay home.
Ultimately, not to be super down, but let's go a little positive. Just stay safe out there, y'all. Be mindful. Stay prayed up to whomever you pray to.
And know that you can pray at home. Don't take your ass to church.
Yeah.
Shout out to the landlord who changed the locks on that church. I can't even remember where it was, but they were still gathering after they had been told not to.
Social media that you saw it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, the landlord had changed the locks on the church, and because they kept trying to gather, and I support it. And
this is the one time that we gotta just, I understand that we may not like to follow the rules, or we think it may not affect us or whatever, but this shit is serious. Like, there's people dying, and at first I'm not gonna say we, but it was speculated that it was like a white person disease, right? And then black people started dying, and now it's like whatever. But like, there should be no there should be no corona jokes, pranks, none. Like, this is the one time that shit needs to just be like, this is a serious situation, and keep it serious. To me,
I understand. So. Well, even though our episodes will probably be definitely tinged with COVID-19 topics, because, I mean, quite honestly, that's all at the forefront of our minds. We want to make sure that we are still a relationship podcast. So we're going to go ahead and transition to our relationship tip of the week.
Don't get married is my tip of the week.
Really, nigga?
My fault. Go ahead.
You are something else.
Go ahead. You can start it.
I know I will always start because I'm prepared.
When they be shooting, they be shooting.
Listen. So my relationship tip of the week is actually something I got from another podcast, and it's called Unlocking Us, and it's by this woman named Brene Brown. And it was kind of about, the episode title was called FFT, for fucking first time, right? And it basically talks about how, like, people, especially adults, like, we're most vulnerable when we're like not good at something, or it's our first time going through something. And one thing that you can do to kind of help adjust or combat like the uncomfortability of going through something for the first time, like a relationship, like a new job, like a skill, or like a pandemic, is to manage your expectations. And I felt like that was a really good like tip to have in any type of relationship, because it's, what she said too is she quoted another person and said that, expectations are resentments waiting to happen. And that really kind of resonated with me, because if you don't manage your expectations, meaning your own and those of other people, you are setting yourself up to be resentful of another person or other persons. And I feel like that's really important, and especially now, because we're all, to some degree, adjusting to a new reality. TJ and I are both working from home. That's never been a reality before.
I've always worked from home.
TJ and I are both working from home.
I just had to make sure.
Thank you. So that's a new reality, and like being home all day with Tatum is a new reality. So I think that that's really important for us, and that he and I have been doing one way or the other, and have to continue to do, is to manage our expectations. We can't expect it to be something else, because ultimately, especially now, like, you're coping, like, we're still eyeball deep in a trauma-filled scenario, and what that trauma looks like is going to vary from person to person. But with that being said, we have to manage our expectations. Don't think that just because somebody is home all day now, that they're working from home, that they're going to have, like, immediately, that means that they're going to be more time for you. No, they're still working from 8 to 5, and sometimes arguably even longer, because people are sitting at home already, so they're going to keep working. And you want to make sure you manage those expectations with your partner, or with your relatives, or your friends, your roommates, whomever you're with, especially right now, because if you don't manage your expectations, you're going to end up being resentful of the other person, because you're not getting what you thought you wanted, or what you expected. So with that, I'm going to pass the relationship tip over to my other half. I'm not gonna say better half, but my other half.
Shit, I'm definitely your better half. If it wasn't for, never mind. I changed your life. Took you away from the slums of Queens.
Talk your shit. Go ahead. Nobody believes you. It's fine.
No, they do. They do.
Nobody believes you.
When I met you,
nobody believes you.
Trash.
And yet,
diamond in the rough. I seen it. I seen it.
And it was like, when I met you, it was all smoke and mirrors.
It was like
I was bamboozled, hoodwinked.
It was like it would be how like an NBA player when he finds that girl who no other NBA player knows. That's how it was. It was like, wait, no one sees what I see. I got you.
I didn't get that.
See, even Siri was like, I didn't even get that. So anyway,
go ahead.
Relationship tip of the week. Corona version. I must say, I don't have anything. This week, Dani wins because I don't have a tip. Without like going into anything different or anything that I haven't said any before. So
I'll take that W. I mean, I knew it was like I said.
But technically, you really didn't win because you stole it from someone else. But I got you.
I mean.
It's better than nothing.
I was inspired, yes, absolutely.
You're right.
And I mean, I came prepared.
You're right.
But to each his or her own, I guess.
I mean, I didn't think we was going to record for real, you know, so.
Oh, so you're trying to be shady?
I'm not. What? You're the one who just said you came prepared. You came prepared because you're the one who green lights if we record or not. So I wasn't sure.
That's because you come in at the 11th hour and be like, so I guess we're just not recording, are we?
I mean,
you wait until 10:35 on a Thursday to be like, yeah, I guess we're not recording, huh? And I'm like, sir, we
exactly. Me and you have the same amount of time.
Okay, so then that means it's both of our faults that we
relationship tip. Thank you. You just inspired me.
I still take my win.
You can have that. Okay, whatever. Make sure you communicate with your partners, right? When you have plans or you have schedules, right? The hardest thing of being in a relationship is that communication piece, I feel like.
Yep.
Right? And we've said it before, but I want to put it in this instance because Dani and I are husband and wife, but we also are podcasters, co-hosts with each other. And I can record by myself.
You can't.
But I need my partner because the show is Lovers Quarrel. It's not TJ's Quarrels. And so my thing is...
And what would you talk about if I wasn't here?
Talk about how trash you are. What do you mean?
So you would just still talk about me? Okay.
Anyway.
And let the record show that, like, I oftentimes have the people on my side. I'm just saying. So if you didn't have me, you'd just be talking at your ass and then have nobody to correct, clarify, course correct, all of that.
I feel like you're holding me back anyway.
I'm holding you back?
Anyway.
Okay, so next week's episode will be just Lovers Quarrel with TJ.
Back to what I'm saying. So the communication, because Dani brings up a good point. I will wait because my thing is, you know, when the episode airs, you know we have to record. So I don't need to be communicating with you every day to be like, when are we going to record? But, or at least that's how I feel. But I'm going to say, when you're in a relationship, if you have friends or whatever, whenever you have plans, make sure you communicate that. And if that means that you got to check in the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and several times, do that. So that way you can make sure that it gets done. Don't assume, like, at least for me, don't assume that because Dani knows that the episode has to come out, that she's going to remember that we have to record. But you can have your little funky.
Oh, now it's a little funky W. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll take it.
You got to take whatever you can get. You don't want a lot.
Yeah, whatever. Did you ever refund me my $40?
No.
So you're really going to keep $80 from me?
You sent it.
Wow. I'll just take it from you. It's fine.
You going to take it from me?
Like I said. So y'all, the other day, so TJ essentially swindled me out of $40, right?
Did I? No. How did I swindle you out of $40?
Because I just want you to hear how ridiculous this is. So TJ did, let me back up. This is not the same $40 that TJ owed me from when he lost our bets. He did eventually pay on that about 4 or 5 episodes after.
You are such a shady person.
Then since we've been home because of the corona, I wanted to watch some movies on demand or like the early release movies. And so he purchased them. So they were $20 a pop. I was like, cool, I'll give you the money back for that, right? So I hadn't sent it to him yet, but then there was another point in time where I was in the bed and I wanted him to bring me some snacks from downstairs. And he was like, $40. So I like playfully, I sent him the $40 I owed him for the movies. And then I sent him I was like, I'll send you the other 40 when you get up here, whatever. And so like I playfully sent him another $40 for him to bring me some chips and dip. Let's be clear about that.
How good were those chips and dips though?
They were good, but they were not $40 good.
Well,
and then I'm thinking like, okay, I cashed out to him. I'm like, he'll keep the first $40 and then he'll just like refund me back the other ones because we were just playing around or whatever. It's been over a week and it was
not been over a week. It happened this week.
What day did it happen?
I feel like it happened Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, well days are running together. It's been several days and he has not returned my funds.
You sent it on Sunday.
Okay, so it's
the beginning of the week.
Okay, I apologize.
Well, not the beginning.
Yeah, Sunday is the beginning of every week.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Okay. So with
some
that,
people may see it as like the ending of the week.
It's not.
Okay.
Sunday is the start of every new week. That's why on the calendar it starts with Sunday and ends with Saturday.
Listen, that's in your world.
The real world.
Nah.
Okay. See, that's where you fuck up, right? Because you automatically.
Let me tell
you where you fuck up. I
don't want to be wrong right now.
You live in a reality where
I'm gonna go with my gun.
I feel like you just go through life with certain things in life where you just don't.
So you've never seen a calendar where it starts on a Monday? You've never seen that. You've never seen one that starts the straight 7-day, Monday to Sunday.
I have seen them.
Okay, so then
Sunday is the official start of a new week.
All right, you have it, Danielle.
We could bet.
I believe you.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that there are people who will say they may consider Monday as the beginning of the week and Sunday at the end.
What do you consider to be the start of the week?
I don't know.
So, yeah. Well, with that, we're just going to stop right there. And we're going to go ahead. Oh, wait.
I'm not giving you money back. You sent it. You should have never sent it.
I should have never sent it. You wouldn't give me my shit.
Oh, what does this say? What day does the week start? Starts Monday or Sunday. Oh my gosh.
The work week starts on
Monday.
Monday
Is the first day of the week. It is followed by Tuesday. Sunday is the 7th day and the last day of the week.
I feel like Sunday starts the new.
Oh, according to the Bible, the Sabbath or Saturday is the last day of which marks Sunday is the first day.
Okay, so it's a tomato type.
Pretty much, but you were trying to dummy.
No, I wasn't.
Look at him, shame him.
I wasn't trying to shame you.
I'm Danielle. So
that's how I sound.
So now I'm even more confident. Monday begins the week.
The work week, yes.
It begins the week.
What's your word of the week, sir? You have one of those, or you forgot that too?
Trash.
TJ.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was low hanging fruit. I'm Danny.
It was.
All right. I'm going to need Rebecca to... I don't want to use Rebecca.
Karen, since that's a slur.
It's a slur.
You didn't see the whole thing on...
No.
Oh.
On what?
On social media, on Twitter,
us.
there were women on there saying is the term Karen? You know how they'll describe a white woman as a Karen? Is that considered a slur? And a bunch of white women were like, yeah, it is a slur. And a bunch of non-white women were like, fuck no, it's not a slur. So stop.
If you're calling a white woman Karen, it's a slur.
That's what some white women were trying to make the argument for.
I mean, it makes sense though because we live in this soft ass world where everybody's offended. You say anything. You joke, it's a problem. Anybody. Next thing, I'm going to start telling people if they call me Terrence, I'm offended. Why not?
Because you're not.
I'm not, but I just feel like, why not play into it? Like, people should just start doing that now. Just fuck it.
You just want to start trolling.
Why not?
I mean, if you got
You have a white car, that's offensive.
Okay.
It's a coupe. Instead of a 4-door, that's offensive. That offends me.
Sir.
You don't care about the kids. You're offensive. Like, we're just picking and choosing shit just to pick and choose shit. Like,
what does Alice have to say for your word of the week?
Quixotic.
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 Quixotic not sensible about practical matters.
Oh, you think a lot of people are quixotic. Quixotic.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Ding, 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 ding. You're still not getting your money back, though.
I'm still like, it's fine. I'll just take $40 cash from you when you're sleeping. It's fine.
You seen what happened on Friday, right?
Nigga. Oh, what, with Devo and Felicia? Please.
And your hair does.
My hair does not look like Felicia's right now.
It's close to it.
Okay.
You got some hang time, though.
Thank you. I brought my blow dryer over from the old house so I'm gonna blow dry it, and I think I'm gonna braid it. Trying to like not have to worry about it as much, but that's neither here nor there. But well, you know,
you could do those braids you used to do when you were like younger.
What braids?
You used to do like cornrows, like halfway cornrows, and then you had your little.
I could do that. Did you like that? So why even bring it up?
Just trying to give you ideas.
Oh, thank you.
At this point, I gotta like it. We're stuck together.
I mean,
during this quarantine, so.
So once it's lifted, you got to like.
Then I could be like, shit. If you wear that shit one more time.
Oh, okay. What's gonna be the first thing that you do once we are able to roam freely about the cabin?
I don't know. I probably want to go play ball against somebody.
Yeah, I figured that. I definitely want to like do like a self-care day, like manicure, pedicure, eyebrows, lashes.
Oh, you want to go all in. Just
I want to wax.
Just touch you all over.
A massage.
Just go ahead.
Get my hair done. Look like a human being again.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, with this whole thing, besides my mind playing tricks with me, I'm pretty good. Like I said, I don't mind being home. You
definitely don't mind being home. You don't got to get up. You don't got to go nowhere. You don't got to put clothes on. You just come from upstairs to downstairs, and you go from the bed to the couch.
I feel like I'm online again for real.
Honestly, like, you've been training for this your whole fucking life. Like, you...
No rules!
Like, you get to be in your drawers all day.
All I got to do is just follow whatever it is, work from my shift to work my shift, and just figure it out in between.
DJ's in his element.
So... with that, we're going to take a moment. Let's hear a message from our sponsor, Gaines Sports Gear. Go to Gaines, GAINZ, sportsgear.com and use our code LOVERS10. I did that early.
But now hear it from them.
Hey friend, it's time for you to ditch those workout gloves and get the grip and wrist support you deserve. What do you suggest? You need to get the Gaines Load and Lock grips by Gaines Sports Gear. They are more durable than gloves, have a non-slip grip pad that provides grip support and added wrist support unlike your traditional workout gloves, and will protect your hands from calluses. Do they come in different colors? Not only do they come in different colors, but they are available for men and women. Do yourself a favor, go to GainesSportsGear.com. And remember, a better grip equals a better lift. Embrace the process.
And you too can embrace the process by using our code LOVERS10 at Gaines, GAINZ, sportsgear.com. And now we're going to get back to the show. And now we're back, y'all.
Yes, we are. And now we have I won't even call it necessarily like a love note or a listener letter. As much of it as a prompt that we were given on social media. So if you recall, we didn't record last week, so we missed last week. And when I posted about it, just giving my apologies for the inconsistency, one of our followers posted on our Instagram page that he wanted us to kind of discuss or talk about couples in quarantine, right? So, like, how people are coping, or like what advice do we have? And I thought that was a good kind of topic to kind of go over, which is like quarantine quarrels, right? So what do you think, or even if you've talked to your friends, babe, who are in relationships or married, have anybody talked about like any type of quarrels that they've had with their partners? What have we had?
Because when I talk to my friends, those who are in relationships, they never really said anything about
beefing.
Yeah.
Maybe, have we beefed about anything since?
Fuck yeah, we beef. All the time.
We don't beef all the time.
Shit.
I think we beefed. We beefed a lot on Tatum's birthday. And then...
We beefed on Tatum's birthday. I feel like there was other days we were beefing.
I think it was just like maybe like them.
Tuesday.
I think it was like Monday and
Wednesday,
Tuesday.
we were beefing. I felt like
This past Wednesday? Like yes.
Yes. Yesterday. Because this will air on Friday, so today's Thursday.
Okay. I don't remember about what, but
I don't know if we were beefing, but you were being nasty.
I don't.
I just think it's your retrograde.
Okay.
And I just threw that out there.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about retrogrades and your moons and your risings and all that other stuff.
I'm just a Cancer and you're just a Pisces.
I mean, I could be an asshole and be like, "Are you PMSing?" But then that's kind of offensive and all that good stuff. Anyway,
but I think for a lot of people, like the quarantine quarrels that are going on are like usually surrounding. Again, I think it goes.
What are your circles quarantining about? I mean, quarantining.
Quarantine quarreling about.
Yes. Quarantine quarreling. That may have to be a new segment.
I think the big thing is like certain, like it's always like little stuff, right? It's like small like pet peeves that become a lot more noticeable because you're spending an extended amount of time together. You're making sure that you're like not making sure like you're noticing stuff that you normally wouldn't notice because it's just happening in greater frequency. So like one of my line sisters was talking about how her husband like leaves like cabinet doors open. Like he'll go into the cabinet and instead of just like closing it all the way, she comes in and there's like 2 cabinet doors that are just open, or somebody's like leaving their shoes all over the place, or someone else. Sometimes it's just about like, you know, being in each other's space, because I think that like I honestly feel like us in this new house, which is you know, bigger than our old house, is a good thing because you and I have like a lot of space. So like we can be in the same house, we don't have to be in the same space as each other. And when we want to be in the same space as each other, we can be, but we're not. And like, you know, sometimes it's just like another one of my friends, like her boyfriend was spent some time with her, but then she's just so accustomed to like living alone that the little bit of time that they were together during this time, she was like, yeah, like you gotta go, because it's like adjusting to living with somebody. So to whatever degree, because either you're seeing somebody for longer periods of time and you're home and then you're trying to like do work things while still trying to like be, you know, keep up your house and home. But then also too, like you have people who are like trying to quarantine together, but then they haven't lived together previously. So now you're still getting irritated by them. So like that's been kind of the things that's been going on. I feel like all things considered, like you and I have been doing pretty good. We also obviously have Tatum to be as often like the main focus of our attention outside of work. So you and I, like we hang out with each other, but we're not like necessarily like getting on each other's nerves like crazy either. But I think it's like you're gonna have to. I
do think that if we were in the old house, we would have been
beefing.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we absolutely would have been beefing, because it's just like.
We would have been on top of each other.
Yeah, and I would have been like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
And
because you'd have been frustrated. I was in the living room and...
Yeah, because you come down and you just take over.
When do I take over? I hate when you say that.
Because you come in and you'll be like...
You're not watching it!
But maybe, what if I just want to be what if I just want to be quiet and like laying on the couch quiet?
Then go in the basement.
Go... So see what I'm saying? You want me to... See, this is a quarrel, right? So you want me to move if I was there first.
You're in the living room. That's the common area for everybody.
Okay, so then if it's the common area for everybody, then it's whoever is there first, right?
So then let me put a TV somewhere else.
You have plans for having a TV in every fucking room in this house.
All right, so then let me just put a TV... All right, let me put a TV inside the dining room or the formal dining room. And then that way I won't have to be here.
You wouldn't even stay in there. You don't even, let me tell y'all something, right?
Oh
TJ loves being, like this work from home thing is so much in TJ's bag, but like TJ doesn't even like sitting up while he's working. Like TJ is laying down while he's working a lot of times.
Doesn't matter.
So
as long as I get my job done.
The fact that, no, I agree, but at the same breath.
There you go, hating again.
You are not going to sit at the dining room table all day getting work done. I have to sit at the dining room table.
If I have to sacrifice because you because you're not in the living room, but you're like...
Because I was there first.
But you wouldn't... There has been no time that we've been in this house that you've been in the living room and I came in and I took over. There hasn't.
Okay.
Exactly.
We've only been here a few weeks.
That was a Tatum face too.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was the face?
I don't know. I don't...
Okay. So, I'll say this. Like, in our old house, we would have absolutely been beefing because you definitely would come and take over in that room.
But it's the common area. And I don't take over. I would come in and I'll ask you, can I change the channel? Or can I do whatever? So that's not taking over.
And what if I said no?
If you said no, then I have to figure out something else. The fuck?
So let's put it on wax. If I'm in the living room,
if you're there first,
and you come in and you ask me, "Am I watching this?" I say yes. It's at the end of the conversation.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna mark this date. What's the timestamp right now?
I don't know.
We're gonna circle back around this because if and when that situation comes up again, and that's not the same way it plays out, I am coming back to the table where I'm telling the world.
You can tell the world. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I will, and you can not give a fuck and have the world know that you are full of.
Danielle, if you are there, how many times have I come inside of our bedroom? You're watching TV. I ask if you're watching it. You say you are, and I just go about my day. Like I do it. Stop it, yo.
What you do more often is you come into the space that I'm in, and whatever I'm watching, and you go, "Can I see the remote?" Okay, then. So that's
okay.
You. That's you. Like,
if I say, "Can I see the remote?" If you would have said, "I'm watching it," I'd have been like, "All right."
Okay.
So you're really making it seem like I'm some fucking dictator.
You're not a dictator, well, no, you are a dickhead sometimes, but you're not a dictator in that sense. But I think that sometimes what you don't realize is how it might come across. Like, I can't think of how often I've come into your space and be like, "Are you still watching this?" Or I work under the presumption you're there, you're watching it, you were there first. So
are you serious? Yeah, well that's a terrible presumption. And they said when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself.
Okay. So in the future, I will also subscribe to that, where I will say, if you're in there, I'm like, are you watching this? And I'll go with your answer. And then depending on what your answer is, if I can take over control. But we don't have to worry about that too tough because we have more than one television in this house and we have more space. But
back to the
quarantine quarrels.
Back to quarantine quarrels. I would say make sure that y'all are giving each other space.
Mm-hmm. As best as you can.
Yes, as best as you can. Be mindful and thoughtful of your partner or the people that you're sharing space with. Because like Rock, he has a roommate.
Oh.
And his roommate like ate the last of his like mustard. And he's like a special mustard.
Oh.
And didn't say nothing.
Are they friends? Or are they just roommates?
I don't know.
We gotta ask him.
We do need to ask him.
Because I feel like that's.
I don't even know if he follows him. He be talking about him. But
yes,
like,
he does.
He'll like.
The Brita.
Yeah, so. That's like, especially in this times.
That's the shit that like.
This is shit that somebody may like. It may like take them out. It may like, fuck this. This person gotta go.
Yeah, I think another thing that people are quarreling about sometimes too is when it comes to this is how serious people are taking it, right? Because you have I pray that nobody that listens to this or any is going through that, but it's a reality where you have people who are very like taking it very seriously, being very diligent about things or whatever, but then their partner or their roommate or whoever is like not taking it seriously enough, and that leads to like again conflict, because if I am like, wear a mask and gloves when you go to the store, or like wash your hands as soon as you come in the house, and the person I'm living with is like, man, you tripping, it is what it is, then that's going to be like the basis of like a lot of quarreling, because you have, or like, people are taking it, or people are being so dramatic or whatever. That's going to be a root of a lot of conflict too. And I think even worse than that, quite honestly, is if you live in with somebody who's like a fucking conspiracy theorist, then I really am praying for you, because Lord knows like that would be hard as hell to deal with living with somebody who's like, this is all happening because of 5G. Man, if you don't get the fuck up out of my face. So ultimately,
I would say just be mindful. I would say whatever you would normally do, don't normally do it, if that makes sense. Like, just be more mindful in your actions. The things that you're doing, the way that you do things, just be mindful. If you are home with your significant other, your girlfriend, baby mother, whatever, and you have a child there, help.
Yes.
That can be an issue.
Yes.
Like, we just have to just do those things.
Division of labor.
Yeah.
Manage your expectations. Like, don't...
Shit, you might even... For real, I'm recommending that you just sit down. Like, we have enough time. Have a conversation about... Listen, while we're going through this, what are expectations?
Yeah. Because, like, for us...
We didn't do that, but
we
should probably do that.
I mean, we didn't, and we could. We definitely can have the conversation, but I think that we have a decent... Like, there are definitely things that we need to tighten up on, but... you know, I get up earlier than you, and I do, like, if I have conference calls on a given day, my calls always start a lot earlier than yours. So usually what'll happen is TJ will, you know, I'll get up at 7:45 or whatever, and I'll be on calls starting anywhere between like 8:30 and 9, and then I might be on calls all morning. And then by that point, of course, Tatum is up, so TJ has more, but TJ doesn't really start till 10. So CJ has a little bit more flexibility.
Who the hell is CJ?
I said TJ doesn't start.
Nah, said CJ, bro.
I said TJ doesn't start till 10. Oh. So then he might, you know, handle Tatum from like 10 to 12 or something like that. And then when he gets on a call in the afternoon, then I handle like nap time and all that stuff like that. So there's a kind of like an unspoken balance or division of labor that we're doing when it comes to her. But there's definitely things that we could tighten up on. There's definitely things that we could do better. But at the same time, I think that's another big thing too. It's like you gotta give whoever you're living with or whoever your partner is, if you're in this time, you gotta give them grace. Like I've been speaking about grace forever and a day on this show, but this is really a time where, like, you can't, like, people are going through it on varying degrees, on a sliding scale. But I think the best way to describe it is kind of that meme, or that, not meme, but that, like, post that's kind of been floating around social media, which is like, we're all weathering a storm right now. But for some of us, it's like a thunderstorm. And for other people, it's a monsoon. Like, all of us are weathering it, but to what degree it varies. And we have to be able to be okay with acknowledging and respecting that people are going through it in different ways, and we have to be fair to those people and not like look down on them or be like, yo, you tripping, you doing too much, whatever. Because we're good, like we're blessed to still be getting paid and being able to work from home, but the next person is worried about where their next meal is coming from. I can't shit on that person. And even if it's my partner, like if my partner got laid off and I'm working, like, I still can't necessarily be like, well, I'm working from home, you're not working, so you need to make sure that this house is spotless. Like, no, this person is still going through it. So while we need to make sure that we are being realistic and we're still pulling our weight to an extent, we still have to be kind and demonstrate humanity to others, because people are going through it in so many ways and shapes and forms, and it's not always going to be on the surface that you can tell. And that includes your partners. So that's kind of like our quarrel / feedback / advice on how to deal with quarreling in the era of a quarantine.
Quarrels are going to happen. I just
Absolutely.
think that you got to, as Dani said, you got to manage your expectations. But this is like the one time where it's like, we really shouldn't be beefing. Like, again, quarrels are going to happen, but it shouldn't be like a 2-week quarrel. Like, you shouldn't be like you shouldn't be quarantined with somebody and you're not speaking to them because of whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, you already know there's gonna be people that's gonna come out of this shit like, oh, I broke up with so and so, like, oh, I'm like.
You think so?
I think there's definitely people that are going through, like, are coming to a lot of realizations or getting confirmations of things that they were already suspicious of, because now they have this like uninterrupted time around this person. You'd be like, you know what, I really don't like this motherfucker. And when this is over, they're going to take the steps to move on from that person. They said, like, after China's quarantine got lifted, there was like 88 couples that filed for divorce like immediately. And I think that's going to happen too. Like, you're going to see a lot of people getting divorced. You're going to see an upswing in divorce. You're obviously going to see an upswing in pregnancy, to a tick up in pregnancies too.
Shit, as long as they ain't true, we good.
So then But I think it's going to be, it's just gonna be an adjustment, you know, for everybody. But, you know, try to pick and choose y'all battles, because there's no sense already being additionally stressed out because you're going to war with your partner through this time, because Lord knows, like, nobody has the energy for that all the time too. Don't, like, live in silence, but also don't beef about every single thing. Pick and choose your battles, talk it out, manage your expectations, you know, try your best to enjoy each other's company, you know, think of fun, creative ways to hang out together. Like, me and TJ have watched movies. Me and TJ have played a couple rounds of Connect 4. We've, you know, which actually, I want him to see if I can try this video game, because I never play video games, but fuck it. What else do I have to do? So, I mean, I'm just curious, like, about expanding my, oh my gosh, what is the word I'm trying to think of? But basically, expanding my horizons as far as, like, things to do to occupy my time when I'm not working. Because what we all got to hold on to is our sanity.
Agreed.
Well, anything else you'd have to add, my love?
No, that's it for that portion.
I think I should take a picture of you right now.
Why?
Because you're sitting here with a crown on your head.
Come on. Don't be disrespectful.
So TJ has the crown I bought for him for Tatum's birthday party, because we did Prince and Princess dress up. And I just want you guys to all see, you know, what I'm working with when we're recording
if you
episodes.
could post that, then I can post...
How I look right now?
No, how you look 2 weeks ago when I wanted to post, or 3 weeks ago when I wanted to post it. You was like, no, don't post it.
What picture was it?
We were recording, and your hair was wild.
Like it is now?
Nah, it wasn't. It was worse than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know it's been so long since we've recorded, but...
Oh, but you call me shady.
I learned from the best.
Your mother.
Watch out. Now you being disrespectful.
I love you, Mom. I'm just playing. All right, folks. Well, this has been yet another episode of Lovers Quarrel. As always, you know that you can find us on Instagram at Lovers Quarrel Show. You can find us on Twitter at Lovers Quarrel 7. You can email us your quarantine comments, questions, quarrels at loversquarrelshow@gmail.com. Make sure that you stay safe. Make sure that you wash your hands. And we're going to get through this together. And as always, I am your girl, Dani.
And I'm your guy, TJ.
And you know that we fuss.
We fight, but we love. Bye.
Bye.
Old buckethead ass.
Shut the hell up.
Watch your mouth.
Give me my $40, nigga.
No, you sent the fucking money.
Give me my money.
You should have sent it.
I'm going to steal it back.
All right. You steal it.
I'm going to steal it back.
Okay. You can earn it.
I'm going to steal it back.
You can earn it.
No.
I got 41s for you, love.
No.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.